Good morning, Meadowvale teachers. We'll see how this goes. I'm going to try to do the meeting in this record mode and get it sent out to you, hopefully to provide a little bit more clarification. The goal of my meeting today is to continue to build community, though it might be in a different format than we're used to gather some information. Actually, I have some information for you about the amount of student materials that we still have in the building, and then share some information and ideas for you in regards to distance learning. First, I have to say a big thank you to everyone for the all hands on deck, the positive attitude, and just the willingness to go with the flow, even for those of us that it's really challenging. So I just want to thank you. I had so many positive emails and comments from parents yesterday about what a great job we did and how welcoming we were, how organized we were, and that is due in part to each one of you for doing your part. So thank you for that, and ask that you continue to be patient with me and with each other as we all go through so many different feelings and emotions throughout something that we really don't have a lot of control over. So I want to thank you for that. We were going to have Shasta lead us in circle, but obviously that won't happen. But just taking a moment, if you could, to just think about, what you're feeling today, what you're grateful for today, maybe a little bit of both. I know I'm feeling certainly some anxiety, a lot of sadness, and really, I think the other part, though, is I'm so grateful for technology. I'm grateful for the people that I work with, even though I may not get to see you every day. And I'm grateful for the students and families we serve. So, and the fact that my family is healthy, and some great laughter that we had in our house last night as well. So, continue to just think for yourself about where you're at and what things you are grateful for. So in that next steps, if you click on this link, I was going to have you take a look at, I'm calling it the student crap still here section, but I had wonderful assistants go through lockers last night and classrooms and look to see who still had materials here. I wanted you to take a look at that so that as you are planning, you know which students didn't come and pick up their materials, probably won't have their math workbook pages or their other things at home with them, just to have an awareness. They may have either missed a few, just know that, or there might be a couple that had things picked up after they went through, because they did this about 5:30. So just an awareness. We do know that some of these families are coming in to pick up things in the coming days, and if they do, we'll put them in this picked up file, or check this box, so then you can come back to this at any time and be aware of who took their things. Or if you wanted to reach out and make contacts, my plan currently as of today is to be here each day from here on out until I'm told I'm not to be here. So I would say that 8 to 4 time would be an okay time for families to come in and pick up things, and we'll do our best to get it for them. So with that, just that reminder, it would really, really help us if you got your grades done. So I know they're not due till next Wednesday, but we've got the time now, so I'm really going to encourage you to get those finished up. I know a lot of you have. Be nice to get that checked off your list, and it would really help while Sherry's still here in the office, if that could be done. And not saying that she's going anywhere, but we're not sure. And so the sooner you get those grades in, the better. So with that, let's talk a little bit about distance learning. I will tell you what I've done is anything that I'm seeing come through via email or shared with us, I am putting those resources in our Schoology course. I've made a folder called Distance Learning Materials at the very top of our resource page. And so as I'm getting emails or information, I'm putting them into Google Docs, and I'm adding links here so that hopefully you have one place to go back to and you don't have to be searching your emails. So doing my best, I will keep adding to this as we go. And then I'm going to do some general building wide thoughts, and then go back to the actual resource that Teaching and Learning provided for us. So just some building wide thoughts. I'm meeting with Sam and Shasta this morning here just in another half an hour. One of the things, as I mentioned on Monday, something that's super important to me is that we continue to provide students with that social and emotional learning component. And I'm asking Sam and Shasta and Carrie to create for us some weekly social emotional learning lessons that are going to follow along with what's going on in our world right now and with the change in not being at school. So we're going to be looking at doing that, and we'll try to get those out in the format that we should, so they get added to the correct grade level materials for parents to access. I've also been in contact with Grace from Climb Theater and told her we would love to continue our partnership and for her to do some virtual lessons, about 20 to 30 minutes in length with an activity. So she is working on some of that. I've already started to do stories with the principal. I've got one recorded, and I will get that information out to families. Just trying my darndest, as you will, to keep connected with families, to keep connected with students. And so I'm going to try to do a story a day, as some of the other principals in the area do, so that I can keep that connection with kids and read good books too. Other things that I'm going to try to do to keep some normalcy, I'm not quite sure how it's going to work yet, but knowing that we do on Mondays, we do the weekly announcements and the pledge, and we do the end of the week announcements, I'm going to try to find some way to continue to do those and get those out to families, so that, again, kids have some normalcy in what they're doing, and parents get to see what we do as well. I'll find a way, instead of doing our Mighty Mustang type announcements, I want to find a way for parents to send things in so that I can acknowledge what students are doing. I might reach out to you as well if you have some things that you want to acknowledge about kiddos earning certain amounts of math problems on IXL, or reaching certain levels, or maybe we'll find ways to still enter your Century Book Club forms. All of that we'll work through together, but I want to try to keep as many of those things as we can. I also want to try to find a way to continue acknowledging the birthday board that we have in the building, as I watched students go over and look at that yesterday and pick out their name. If there's a way that I can do that and have families, the people that create those, still come in and make the next birthday board and find a way to share out that with our families, I'd love to do that. Maybe it'll be a different way. The other thing I'd really love for you to do in these next couple days is go into the monthly Mustang Awards and add the names for the remainder of the year. I want to find a way to honor the students that we haven't yet honored in our building, remembering that every student is honored at least once. So we've got the March one coming up, so for sure get those in, because I'll find a way to send something out to families and honor those students, and then get the ones in for April and May as well. If you would do that, that would be greatly appreciated. So then I'm going to look at the Schoology, go back into the Schoology resources, and the Ed Services letter is the document that we were all provided with that has the guidance around how to start putting things in for planning. You'll remember on Monday I talked about the importance of having consistency for our families around how information is put into some of our digital resources. And so the distance learning boards that are here is really our planning. This isn't necessarily what's going out to families or exactly how it's going to look, but this form gives you the direction and guidance. Notice that these need to be completed before March 27th. I know that that is one of our planning days, but we need to have it done before the 27th so that our folks in technology can help us get things uploaded in the correct way so parents can access it. So just notice that. Recognize too, we're looking at trying to align things to our standards. So pay attention to that. And then remember, please be reasonable in your expectations. This is not a time to overload students and families. We're really looking at what are those essential standards? What are things kids really need to be working on, and what things can you guide them and provide them with instruction in this type of a format? Remember to give yourself grace. Just do your best. You're going to be inserting different links that you might be having families go out to Seesaw or out to Schoology to find a lot of materials, because many of you do playlists or activities that families will be doing. Remember, not everything needs to be digital. So you might do a screencast of yourself reading something or providing some instruction, and then ask students to do an activity and then upload it to Schoology or Seesaw as a way. We do want students submitting pictures, recording, information that's going to show that you can gather some data and some assessment around that. What's going to be important, in a piece that I need all homeroom teachers to do today, is to locate the board in our building's grade level folder. So if you click on this, you're going to go to, you're going to see all the learning boards for the different buildings. We're going to find those learning boards for Meadowvale, and your job is to go in there. And currently, if you haven't gone in and done any changes yet, they currently simply say the grade level. Your job is to go in, find your grade level, make sure to change the name to your name, as second grade is all done here, and then start working in those learning boards. So make sure that is an absolute first, so that we can start working things. What you need to do once you've got your name on your folder, please make sure to share it. Share immediately with your specialists, with special services, meaning special education teachers that work with your students. They need to be able to, these people need to be able to see these documents, specialists, so they can add their lessons within your materials, and special ed so they can help making sure that students can access core curriculum, helping with accommodations, helping with modifications, as well as they will also be providing instruction for the students on their caseload, or the students that they provide service for. So you see the example there of a choice board, or it's not a choice board, an activity board, and you can see that you're going to have lessons in each of these areas. You might have links, you're going to have some guidance in there, but here's the important piece. This is why specialists need to be able to access your choice activity boards. So that is probably the most important piece that you need to get in there today. Rename your board and make sure to share it with the folks that need it. Follow the guidance in this format, and then the other pieces here, special ed staff, there's some information there. Here is that student virtual calming corner information if you wanted to see what parents have received about how to access and how to log into Rapid Identity on their devices. Online reading options that Amy provided for you, as well as some of you have students who are deaf and hard of hearing, and those reminders are here. I'm going to go back through my emails and I'll continue to add things that come in, so hopefully you feel like you can go to this spot as a resource for you. With all of that being said, again, I just remind you, do the best you can. I appreciated this poem that was sent to me yesterday. When this is over, we may never again take for granted a handshake with a stranger, a full shelf at the grocery store, conversations with our neighbors, a crowded theater, a Friday night out, a taste of communion, a routine checkup, the school rush each morning, coffee with a friend, the stadium roaring, each deep breath, a boring Tuesday, life itself. When this ends, may we find that we have become more like the people we wanted to be, we were called to be, we hope to be, and may we stay that way, better for each other because of the worst. I hope you have a great day. Please don't hesitate to reach out via email. Hey, FaceTime me, Google Hangout. Might be fun to do some of those things as well. I'm here to support you in any way. I will be checking in on your activity boards, and just say again, do your best. I'm going to miss all of you, and hopefully we'll be back together again soon.